What's up, Padawan? What's up, Padawan? Afrojoe the Wookie. Tell like a tea, motherfucking news. Today I want to talk about is Dan Schneider saying he's going to sue the production of Quiet on Set, the dark side of kids TV. I watched it and I gave my opinion of the video, but it didn't come out like I wanted to. But Dan Schneider, the producer of hit shows on Nickelodeon like All That, The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Sam and Cat, was shown in a different light on the documentary Quiet on Set. So when the documentary came out, people he actually did an interview on his YouTube channel talking about he apologized for what he did, and it was bad behavior, and that he should never did what he did on the set of All That. So he's like, he was in the wrong for that he should never did it. He was in the wrong, this, that, and the other. But then comes out later and sues the production, saying, oh, they show me in a, we show that this and that and the other, oh, they painted me in a bad light, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, why are you I'm sitting there questioning, it's like, the documentary came out showing that you doing things that you shouldn't be doing, but then you want to turn around and sue the production system, company, because of what's been shown, that you've been doing things that you shouldn't, degrading women, degrading women, saying they're saying that they're not intelligent, saying that telling women to give you massages on the set, and pretty much making kids show their feet like you got a foot fetish or something. And I'm sitting there questioning, it's like, what's it like for real? What is up with your foot fetish? And that's one thing I don't understand. You got a foot fetish with kids, like that's some unnecessary things. But I do want to branch off a little bit about I do want to say this. It's like, I think there was like 3 cast members that was on the show that actually spoke out. They spoke out on the documentary. Was Brian Hearmy, Katrina Johnson, Glovin Samuel. I know I botched her name. And Shane Leonard. They spoke out on the show, talking about how bad and all this and that Dan Schneider was on set, like the stuff he did, on set, and I've sat there and listened. I've been hearing other cast members coming out, but they wasn't in the documentary. Like little JJ, he spoke out, said, what was it? He said he wasn't go let them take him down there because he was on Nickelodeon. He was under Dan Schneider production, saying he wasn't gonna do that, so he quit. But one stuck out the most is Angelique Bates. She's got me because she came out talking about Kenan Thompson, degrading him, on talking bad about him because she seen him on an episode of a talk show host, and she's like putting him down. It's like, you got to remember, he's a child. He's a child. He couldn't do nothing. And you sit there and you act like he was supposed to do something at the time, but you was degrading him. And said one person spoke out was Katrina Johnson. She's supposed to be your friend. She was the only cast member from that season you was on that actually spoke out on what happened. But you sit there and say, oh, but you didn't name no names. Damn, Katrina Johnson's older than me, but she's still fine. To be serious though, when I sit here and listen to other people that wasn't on the documentary talk about Dan Snyder's and all this and that and the other, some said some good things, some said some bad things. Some said they wasn't around him and seen him do none of this stuff. Some said, yeah, they did see it. But y'all gotta remember, back at those times, who would believe a child over an adult? Nobody wouldn't believe a child saying, this is the 90s now. I'm 39. I'm like growing up back then. Who would listen to a child? Nobody would listen to a child back in those days. If he said one thing, oh, you're lying. But if it's a grown adult, they'll probably say, oh, snap, let's do something. And I'm noticing, I was thinking back, it's like talking to like when all the parents of these cast members was on there. What was it? What's his name? Leon, not Leon, but Brian, his mom was on there. His mom was on the documentary talking. And there was a different scene after the original cast members was already gone, and they started it back up. And they started it back up in 2007 or something like that, from 03 to 07, something like that. And oh yeah, I think 2020 next, whatever. It was something, but he spoke. His mother was on there. His mother was on there, and they was talking about it, and that she was involved. She didn't want to let things happen, and this and that and the other. And so you hear the mother saying this, then you hear Drake, I think his name Drake Bell. You hear his father speak out and talk about the voice coach and how when he stepped in or trying to intervene, that the voice coach will sit there and say, Drake's father's been da 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 da. And everybody believed the voice coach. See how bad that is when somebody's in power? They can say one thing and have the whole crew turn against you. It's the same with Dan Schneider. He can say one thing and have that parent removed. So I'm sitting up here looking at this, man. That's just like, you're suing the production of Quiet on Set, but over the years before Quiet on Set ever came out, people on YouTube has talked about you being a groomer, being a chomo, a geppetto, because I've seen countless videos of you, Dan Schneider, of people talking about you on what you've been doing. You're great. You make great shows. I give you that. Because the shows you made, I grew up on from the 90s. But I look at it now, you're a nasty motherfucker. And for you to sit there, I'm going to sue Quiet on Set because they make me look bad. No, they just put you in a light where you're grooming kids. That you got a hard on for kids' feet. And that people, and you think people shouldn't question you on that, and I think it's a bunch of bull. But for you to sit here and trying to sue a documentary because they put the light on you, not the full light, but they put a light on you, and it kind of like, and I'm gonna say this before I go continue. I've said this countless of times when stories like this come up about kids being messed with in Hollywood. Corey Feldman came out years ago before this and spoke about it, but nobody took him serious. Nobody took him serious. But when Jeanette McCurdy came out with the book, I'm Glad My Mom's Dead, y'all took her story seriously. And Corey Feldman is telling this story for years that this is actually happening in Hollywood. If you got somebody telling you, hey, don't go down there, they got this and that and the other, why would you still go down there? Why would you still go down there? If somebody tells you there's a big old hole right down the street, if there's a big old hole right there down the street, why would you still go down there to that hole? If somebody tells you, watch your step, and you don't listen, what happens? You fall and hurt yourself. But I look at it like this. Corey Feldman's been telling people about Hollywood for years. Y'all like that. Y'all like that he didn't say nothing. And I know y'all getting tired of me saying, keep bringing him up. But y'all got to understand, he's been telling y'all, but y'all keep ignoring. It shouldn't be to the point where, it shouldn't get to the point where if somebody tells you something, then y'all wait until somebody else, like, no, that first time should have already had y'all up and running. If you hear gunfire, why would you walk towards it? But I look at it like this. Corey Feldman been telling y'all about Hollywood and what they do. Y'all should have stopped right then and there and investigated what's really going on in Hollywood. You got somebody who's been in the movie business since the 80s, since he was 2 years old. And y'all should have sat there and listened to what he said, took it seriously, and intervened. If I was a DA, that means district attorney in California, and I saw Corey Feldman on TV saying, hey, this is what's going on in Hollywood, they doing this to kids, the first thing I would have did was go talk to him, not to arrest him, harass him, but sit down privately as a DA and ask, what's going on? Tell me what's up. Because there are studios in Hollywood that has kids. I forgot, it's in Florida. I forgot Nickelodeon's in Florida, but or the DA in Florida, I would have did the same thing, but went to Florida, asked the same thing if I was a DA in Florida, and then after that, have an investigation going on at these studios, and make it where if there's something really going on, arrest the people. Then have it where the governor of either state, California or Florida, will write a law about entertainment that no parent, like, because some of these parents be sitting up there really do protecting their kids, and some don't. Some want to sit there and want that money more than they want the kid. But I sit there and make a law in California or Florida or whatever a studio has made it, protecting them kids in the entertainment industry. No producer should be alone with the child. No voice coach should be left alone with the child. That a child cannot be left alone with a voice coach or a producer or director or a writer or anybody in the industry. That a parent must be in the room, or an officer must be in the room and to watch them interact with a child. I would have made it where that a police must be on set 24/7 as production's going, to make sure that nobody touches or harms a child. But for somebody that's been looked at as a groomer, a chomo, I'd look at it as, why is Dan Schneider trying to sue production that actually outed you out so than many others on YouTube? I'm going to sue. Dude, you are finished, man. There's no way of you coming back. Your reputation is gone. Your reputation is gone. Now I want y'all to tell me what you think down in the description. Tell me what you think down in the comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Get my analytics up. Show your love, support. The more you support, the more I do. I know I ain't been doing YouTubes in a while. Videos in a while. But show your love. Peace.